We're back.
Hey, we did it. We made it.
We made it. And
Pow, pow, pow,
Hassan,
pow.
did you watch? When did you watch last week's movie? When did you watch The Karate Kid?
When did I watch it? When did we record? The day after we recorded.
So you watched the day after we recorded.
Yes, so I think Monday. I think we watched Monday. We recorded
Yes.
Sunday. Yeah.
So you watched it Monday. So
Yes.
how'd you feel? First time seeing Karate Kid literally days ago.
Yes.
The Karate Kid, the original. He never saw it.
Yeah.
How'd you feel?
I felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It was a good movie. It was a lot of fun. The main character, the Daniel-san, was really likable.
Oh, yeah. Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, he's super likable. And then obviously, Mr. Miyagi's amazing.
Yeah. And the villains are so not likable.
Ooh, I mean, outside of Miyagi, my favorite character is definitely the other coach, the Cobra coach.
That guy is a fucking loony.
Yeah, dude, why do you care? Why do you care? These are high schoolers. Relax.
Dude, you gotta chill out. No mercy.
Yeah, what? You're trying to injure these kids? Did you? What are you thinking?
Bro, that's real shit, though.
Yeah?
That's real. Bro, I remember in motherfucking Pee Wee football, a motherfucking...
How were you?
I want to say 7th grade, so I was 12, 13.
12, 13? Okay.
Okay. And there was another star player on another team in the championship game. And I'll just say assistant coach. My dad was the head coach, and the assistant coach, all right, his son also played on the team. And opening fucking kickoff to the championship game, this fucking lunatic, all right, told his son in real life, this is not the movie, okay,
Yeah.
in real life, to injure their best player, their superstar fucking defensive tackle. So opening kickoff, he fucking beelines, shreds this guy's knee, okay? Doesn't take him out the game, but like fucks him, like he hobbles off,
right.
Obviously. You know what I'm saying? Comes back to the sideline, they're high-fiving. This fucking psychopath doubles down, goes up to my dad and goes, hey, did you see what happened? My dad was like, what? And he was like, I told my son to fucking take out such and such. We got him, almost got him out the game. And then now my dad and this grown man are getting into a fight because my dad's like, oh,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
you tried to murder a child.
Yeah.
You just put a hit on a child. I don't know if you realize you put a fucking hit, an assassination attempt on this kid's parents were there, man. I ended up going to high school with that kid later. Not playing. This is real shit. I went to high school with that kid later. Great football player.
So was there like a commotion on your sideline? Was it like a
dude.
real deal fight?
I mean, not like my dad had to tell him like, hey, dude, go over there. You're not coaching the rest of this game. Clearly. I mean, clearly.
Yeah.
You gotta go sit down, dude.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
done. You're done for the day, buddy.
Yeah.
My dad was like, yeah, dude, you're done for the day. Or I'll tell the refs, and you'll probably get arrested. I don't know what happens to that.
Yeah, that's really
You know what I mean? But yeah, that really happened. So this movie, this shit happens, bro. That shit happened in like 2007, nigga, when this happened. Okay. This movie came out in 4?
84, yeah, and the San Fernando Valley was a lawless place back then.
So was Memphis, Tennessee, dog. You know what I mean? God, parents want to win, bro. Some parents don't let that shit go.
Yeah, they want to win a little too much.
They don't let it go, dude.
They don't, yeah.
And they put it and they put it on their kids. And then people wonder, like, because you know what's funny though? Interesting. I mean, just now that we're talking about the kid who did that,
Right.
The kid who did that to that kid in real life, who I'm also friends with, was the nicest guy ever. Was not a bully. Was not a bully, like, at all.
Yeah,
At all.
You're just doing what your coach tells you to do.
For your dad.
Yeah, your coach and dad. Your
double down.
Your life coach. Your football coach, your life coach.
Yeah.
You're like,
So-
I guess you're 12. You don't know. You're like, all right, I guess this is what we do.
We blow out people's kneecaps.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
It's interesting, bro. That's an interesting lifestyle, bro. The competitive sports at that level. It's also crazy that he wins the competition by never doing karate.
Yeah, but like he wins the competition by learning like four moves, and then he's. I didn't think that's like, wow, you're beating these kids that trained their entire lives, and you've been training 2 months. Also, how bad of a coach are you that you have to take out the guy that's only been doing it for 2 months?
Yeah, dude.
And it defeats he goes through your whole dojo.
He goes through your dojo, and like one of the dudes completely disqualifies himself, and he comes back, and then you still tell the dude like, "Hey, let's try to get him again."
Sweep the leg.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Get him a body bag. I love that line, dude. Who's that kid? You're a trendsetter, Johnny. I love Yo, that guy's awesome, dude. I need that guy in my life.
You know, some people are meant to be followers. And that guy is definitely a follower.
Yeah, bro, you need some Goebbels on your team, bro.
Yeah, you do need some girls.
Some niggas that's just gonna root for you and listen.
Yeah. But you said root for you. I
You
said
know,
root
just-
for you. Yeah, that's true.
Root for you if you. I mean,
If
you
you
know, I don't know
ask,
what
you need
Goebbels
it.
was into, dog. I'm
Yeah.
sure some wild shit.
Who does know what Goebbels was into? Probably people.
Yo, what was Goebbels into? I know that's not what this podcast is about, but god
yeah,
damn.
Jesus, relax, guy.
Relax, Goebbels.
If you're listening to this, Goebbels, fucking brakes. Just put some brakes on.
Oh man. Anything else about the movie? Anything you know that anything you that I missed? Anything that I didn't get?
I thought it was just what stuck out to me is like, of course it made sense in the movie and like, oh duh, that's how his wife and kid died, Miyagi's wife and kid died. But I don't think you mentioned that they were in an internment camp when
I
they
didn't
died.
mention that. I didn't know that.
No, the Manzanar, when Manzanar was an internment camp, it was like the biggest internment camp in California. Yeah.
Wow, what these subtle little references, bro.
Yeah, and that's where his wife and kid died. And yeah, we just
While he was out fighting Germans.
well, he was out fighting Germans. His family was interned in the camp.
Fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he teaches this young kid karate?
He teaches this young kid karate. His almost like a surrogate son.
Clearly.
Yeah, clearly.
What a good storyline, though.
Yeah. What a nut storyline. What a tragic story.
Yeah.
Damn, you're fighting for your country, and your country puts your own kids into a camp, and then they don't give them like, or like your wife into a camp and doesn't give him like proper medical attention.
And then they just fucking die.
Yeah, because the general vibe is that, from just the scene, the vibe is that she could have probably lived.
Yeah, if she just had any kind of doctor's treatment, I think she just gave birth and just had to
In that
fucking-
camp,
in that
yeah.
camp, and nobody was there to help her,
Yeah.
and it's just, and you're hungry and you're thirsty and you're probably dehydrated, and how you gonna give a baby dehydrated, bro?
Yeah, Jesus Christ, what the camp life must be.
Yeah, we were just talking about Goebbels.
Yeah, we were just talking about girls. Yeah,
Go
oh my
full
god,
circle, baby.
Oh my god. Well, thank God we're not doing that to people now. Anyways, yeah, I thought that was an interesting, just a twist, not a twist, like a backstory. It added layers to it. It added layers to who this Miyagi guy was.
It really did.
Yeah.
Did you like the fight montage at the end?
You're the best around. I've never seen. Do montage usually close movies before? Close movies?
No, very
Montages
rare.
don't close movies.
Very rare.
Because I remember I was getting to the end of the movie and I was like, oh, wait, there's a montage. That's really weird. Montage is usually like a middle of the movie thing, right? Little to late mid. Like
Middle to late mid.
Yeah, right? Where like the.
Sometimes beginning, like middle beginning if
Yeah.
it's a certain kind of movie, or up. You know,
Up. Yeah.
starts the montage.
That's a good point. That is a good point. But this is the first one I've seen where the montage ends the movie pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
Except for the final fight.
Montage, final fight, that scene, you know what I mean? And then final kick. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and it's it goes montage to the end. The way the movie ends, I like it. No post scene, no like wrap up.
We don't need it.
Yeah, we didn't need it.
We don't
didn't.
need it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, give us the
oh,
victory
him.
there.
We already know him and the girl end up together.
Him and Johnny are now, him and the Cobra Kai are
Yeah.
clearly, I mean, the respect.
friends.
Because that is what life would, there would be friends after that.
Yeah.
Because how do you not? You're going to be like, oh, this guy's cool.
Yeah, and also my coach is insane.
My coach is insane. This guy beat the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't like him. That's then I'm like, you know what I mean? Then the story doesn't make sense. You know?
Right. Yeah, it's not real. This is not a critique on the movie, but I just noticed this because this happens in so many movies about LA. Because I noticed that just the first shot of them pulling up to the apartment complex, everyone always finds parking right in front of what they want to get to.
Never in real
Never,
life.
right?
Right.
And I just wonder, like, because like you don't need the shot of them driving up.
Let's see. Hold on. So we got swingers. Now this.
Now this Entourage was always like that. They always found parking in front of whatever. Like when they went to Earth Cafe, their big ass SUV would be in the front.
I feel like because they're rich, that one is the only one I'm like, okay. The swingers one, it's like, get the fuck out of
Yo,
here. They went to that
Swingers
party in the
was,
hills.
in a caravan of 5 cars.
Yo, clearly get in 2 cars.
Yeah.
You fucking psychos.
You can fit one. You can all fit in one. It's 5
if
people.
you really want to, but I mean, too comfortably.
Too comfortable. Yeah.
But you're fucking yourself on parking with 2.
Either way, yeah, because I noticed she just the beginning shot of them pulling up to the apartment complex that looks like every apartment complex in the valley.
It's like ours.
Dude, every single apartment complex looks the fucking same.
Yo,
in
it's
the valley.
crazy.
It's
crazy.
nuts.
When you said that, I was like, damn, it literally looks like pulling
It
up
looks like ours. It looks like Trey's.
Trays
It looks
now
like, bro,
are
every
extra
single.
made. If you go to this apartment complex right here, this way is
Yeah.
one that looks just like like that. One that way looks just like that. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, they all look the same. It's just right in front. It's like, oh, you don't need that shot. Just got me thinking like, wow, it's crazy how every movie is like that. Just have them walk up to the place. We don't even know how they get there. That's a weird thing to add.
You make people. It's that feel good shot of that car pulling up. It's like that classic shot.
Yeah,
it's like it's like a classic shot.
Yeah. You also didn't need the Philadelphia thing at all. You could have just the movie could have started with them pulling up to the valley.
Oh, you mean the New Jersey
Oh,
thing?
New Jersey thing,
Yo, you said Philadelphia because it reminded you
of Philadelphia. Yeah.
Yo, it was not. Yo, I know what happened. If you got being a real beaners know what's up, but if you go back and watch Philadelphia.
It starts the same.
The opening shot of Philadelphia and the opening shot of the Karate Kid
kind of looks similar,
bro. Like to the T, dog.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah,
in the streets of Philadelphia.
It would be that movie would be very different if Tom Hanks had to fight with AIDS. He had to do karate with AIDS.
Yo, the last scene should have been Tom Hanks karate kicking the motherfucking with T, whatever that is.
Oh yeah, his employers.
Yeah,
it should have been him crane kicking his employers, and then
he dies at the end of that. Man, go watch Philadelphia, guys. Go watch all these.
Yeah,
we've done a lot of episodes.
A lot of connections with this movie.
Yeah, man.
We were connected to Swingers. We connected to Philadelphia.
Brody.
Brody. A lot of connections.
Hey, dude. That's what Brody with Stevens was all about. Positive connections.
Positive connections. And then
Goebbels.
Yes.
To Chinese internment camps.
Japanese.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, and then I firmly I said it in the episode, and I firmly believe it. This was kind of like 8 Mile, but with karate.
This was definitely 8 Mile with karate.
This is 8 Mile with karate.
Whiplash with karate, except the teacher wasn't a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Literally, Whiplash is the Karate Kid.
But with drums?
With drums, except the teacher's a bad person. It is. I just watched it recently. I was like, oh, bro, it's the same as Karate Kid.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's the Karate Kid, everybody.
Go watch it if you haven't seen it somehow by, I don't know.
Hey. Okay. Okay.
I'm cute.
Derek's been watching a lot of Japanese stuff recently, so he's been... Yeah. Wow.
Hi, guys.
I don't like it.
Welcome to this episode of Spoil the Beans.
Yay, this week's movie.
This week's movie, Season 5, Episode 2.
Before we get started, we got some things to plug?
Oh, we do. Guys, go and listen to King and the Sting podcast with Brendan Schaub and Theo Vaughn and your boy, Derek Poston.
He is the voice on it.
On the podcast. Just go listen to it. Check it out. It's really good. It's really funny. And if you're a beaner, why not? Go listen to it and let me know if, and share some love for your boy. You know what I mean? And spread some, and tell those people, tell those fucking Sting King fans to, get on the beaner train.
Yeah, get on the beaner board.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spread that love. But go listen to King and the Sting, guys.
Yes.
You know what I mean? What about you, Hassan?
And then you guys, I will be a guest on Sarah Weinshank's podcast, Shank.
Sarah Weinshank?
Yes, SHENK. I'll be on in the next couple of weeks, but check the podcast out. She's got a lot of cool guests.
She does. A lot of big comics.
Yeah, big comics and like random celebrity. Yeah.
And our boy, eventually.
Yes, in a couple weeks. So.
Go ahead and go listen to that, and then definitely listen to our episode with our Beaner boy, Hassan Ahmad here.
And then we will be in Phoenix.
Again, hey
Brendan
guys,
Schaub.
heads up. Phoenix, Brendan Schaub, April 25th
and 26th, I believe.
No, we're not going to give the people the wrong days because we do have people in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you the right date, April 26th and 27th. 26th, 27th, 2 shows each night at
House of Comedy.
No, Stand Up
Live.
You are just, what is going
all
on?
Over the place.
Guys, not him today.
Yeah.
On information. It's me today. Stand Up Live, April 26th, 27th. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Get tickets. Now they will sell out. They're and guys, we're not just saying that.
Yeah, they will sell out.
They will sell out. So if you're listening to us and you're in Phoenix, you're like, oh, I want to see this live. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great show. Ask the people in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's going to be a great show. Brendan Schaub is very great, and so is he. Guys, are you ready for this week's episode? You know the movie. That's why you're here. He doesn't know the movie. He's never seen this movie. Hassan, explain to us what you think happens in the film that we have all seen, you have never seen, Phone Booth.
Okay, first of all, I don't think we have all seen this movie. I think it's one of those.
God, sometimes he's really wrong today. I can't wait to bust your bubble about all that stuff.
Oh man, I know this is a whole movie that takes place in a phone booth. So I guess a guy,
You know who?
no, I don't know
Okay.
anything about it. I don't know. All I know is that it takes place in a phone booth. I don't even know how he gets in a phone booth. I guess he's just walking
Give me
by.
your movie.
He's just walking by, and
Okay.
here's the phone ring.
Okay.
And then he answers it.
Ooh.
And then the guy at the phone on the other end says, "Hey, Josh." His name is main character's
I
name
love
is
it.
Josh.
Okay. What happens with Josh?
It's sort of kind of like Old Boy. He's trying to figure out who is behind the voice.
Uh-huh.
And the voice is like, well, this is happening. This is happening. You gotta call your wife next and tell her that you're cheating on her, or else something bad will happen. And he's
Yeah.
like, whatever. And then something bad happens. And then the police believe it's the guy on the phone. It's Josh's fault. So they all surround the phone booth and he's on the phone. And then he has to sort of figure out, he has to work his way out of the situation. And
How does he?
how does he do it?
Yeah, that's your job. Why do you act like you've never done this before?
Fuck, yeah, sort of hoping I talk and come up with a solution. It turns out the guy on the phone booth is like, you know what? It's all about his wife. It's like his wife's brother or whatever the fuck. And he finds out that he's cheating on his wife and then sets up this whole scenario. And the way
And then what? Yeah. I'm in. What? And then?
Josh has to confess his infidelities.
Uh-huh.
He does it, and then the police sort of figure out that something's up, and they realize they're being played into killing the main character, and then they find out the guy behind it. They track down the guy who's calling him,
And they get him.
and they get him.
Oh, so it ends like that.
Yeah, but Josh's marriage is over, pretty much.
Wait, okay, wait.
That's my
So
movie.
In your movie, just real quick,
Yeah.
I got to sum this up real
Yeah.
quick before we get into the phone booth. Your movie
Yes.
is about infidelity.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
the brother,
Yeah.
who's like, I guess wants to fuck his sister. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's mentally he's challenged.
Okay.
mentally.
And
Yeah.
he entraps him in this phone booth situation.
Yeah, this phone booth situation. Yeah.
And then the police
Figure it out.
and then stop him.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he but he loses his marriage, and that's
Yeah.
your phone booth.
Yeah, that's my phone booth.
It's about infidelity.
Yes.
Dude, you're a genius. I get this guy a fucking budget, guys. What are we doing? 65 episodes in, we're not gonna give him a movie yet? He can clearly create out of thin air, this guy. You're a genius, dude. Don't you ever let anyone tell you different. Are you ready for phone booth?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
Came out in 2002, this movie.
Okay. I remember vaguely when it came
And
out. Mhm.
gigantic box office hit.
Really?
That's why I was like, oh, no. Everyone saw this. You didn't.
You know what? I'm gonna put up a poll on our Instagram. I'm curious to see who has actually seen the movie. This one I'm curious. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I want to see which movies people on your side more and people are on my side more.
Movies like this was a global box office hit, so it's like you're just gonna lose.
Okay.
So I mean, I didn't know. I mean, just off of, it's like you're asking me, it was a hit. It was like, I mean, it made. I looked up how much money it made.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? First week, over 100 million in 2002.
Oh shit! Really?
That's why I was like, dude, what are you
Yeah.
talking? This was you missed this.
All right. Well, we'll see what the poll says. We'll see what the poll says.
Just gave him a statistical fact. Not enough.
We'll see what the poll
We'll see what
says.
his 1,500 followers on Instagram say.
No. 300 followers on the Spoil the Beans Instagram. All right. We'll see what the poll says.
God damn, you're funny.
All right. Let's begin this.
You ready?
movie. Yes.
All right. It starts with a cappella group singing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they're singing like "Operator, give me information." Like you just hear them kind of singing, right?
Right.
And the movie is a phone booth comes across the screen,
Mhm.
and then we're soaring through the clouds as these, they keep singing "Operator, give me some information." You know what I mean? And it's like going through credit, like the space and all this stuff, satellites. You know what I mean? And then the camera pans down, and it's like everyone on the cell phone, like everyone's like old school cell phones, flip
Right.
phones, like
Yeah.
walking around talking, and it's everybody in New York. You know what I mean? So just imagine New York,
Big city.
hustle and bustle, prime time,
Hustle bustle.
million. I guess what's that called? Work hours, I guess. When you
Rush
see,
hour?
Rush hour. When you see everyone walking.
Walking to work.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So You see the black guys who are on the corner singing, like the a cappella group. You see those guys singing. Okay. You see phones ringing everywhere. Everyone answering their cell phones. Right? And then narrator, like a voiceover. Okay. Estimated 8 million people live in the 5 boroughs of New York. 12 million in the greater metropolitan area. 10 million. There are 10 million telephone exchange lines just in this, like in a certain block radius.
Okay.
Okay. There's 50 different telephone services. 50% of the people use their cell phone. And then, and out of that, like, it was like out of the 50% who use their cell phone, like 100% have certain people on speed dial even. So they can just hit one button to call someone.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then it talked about how that pretty much has just annihilated the payphone. Okay.
Back in 2002.
Yeah. This is 2002. Though 4.5 million residents in New York in this day still use the payphone on a regular basis. Okay. And then it showed people using the payphone, right?
Wow. I wonder what that statistic is now.
Is it even alive still?
Are there even, what was the last time you saw a payphone?
Check this out. The last time I saw a payphone is when me and Sam went to the Lakers-Warriors game, because when you go to the, I forgot, when you walk to the Metro, you pass these payphones that don't work. But there's a stand of payphones. There's like 5 payphones right by the Metro.
In North Hollywood?
Hmm?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're right there, but they don't work, so you never notice them. But they're right there. And it's like, I just noticed them the other day, but it was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I don't know why, but I noticed them. But yeah, that's the last time I saw a payphone.
Yeah, that's
When's the last time you saw a payphone?
Man, I can't even remember. There was, back in my middle school, on the lunch line, there used to be this payphone at the middle of this lunch line. In the middle of the lunch line. And I remember we used to call it randomly and just fuck with people on the phone.
Yeah.
You'd like, hey, get me a cookie. Yeah, get me a cookie. That's what we'd call it. We'd call, hey, get me a cookie. That's what we'd say, right? And then one day we were behind someone in line. Me and my friend would do this. And then they were like, hey, remember what that one time this is 2 years later, 2 years afterwards. They'd be like, oh, remember that one time in 6th grade we answered the phone and someone was like, get me a cookie? And I was like, wow, I can't believe that came back.
That's the last time you remember a payphone?
That's my only payphone story I got, but that's it. It's done after that.
I think I only maybe ever used one, definitely once or twice as a kid. Like, not a lot, definitely.
Because I remember walking by the middle school and high school and they had taken the payphones out.
Yeah, I do remember when I seen payphones getting taken out.
Yeah.
Like around like this era of time, 2002, 2003.
Yeah, that was
where you would just see them all getting like, they're just getting taken away. Like where they were everywhere. They would always be at gas stations. And I remember them not being at gas stations anymore.
Ooh.
That's the first thing I remember vividly, because they were always at gas stations, no matter what. There'd always be one on the side of a gas station, if not a row of them. And then they were just not on gas stations anymore.
Yeah, they're just gone. You can still see like their carcasses.
Yeah, but do you remember when they were always at gas stations? Because they were always one at a gas station, which made sense, because it's like, oh, that's where you would need one if you had to get your car to a gas. You know what I mean? That's where you would need a payphone. It's like, oh, damn. Now you got to go in there and just ask that nigga to use his cell phone.
Yeah, you got to ask. It's really much more personal now.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a whole thing, and he might not give it to you. Oh, God, it's a whole thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
is this payphone history podcast?
Like 10 minutes. Literally
10 minutes in.
Oh,
we still haven't got to the first thing of the movie.
Not even not even the first thing. The narrator's still talking while the credits are rolling, dude. I'm not even like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where we still are.
Yeah.
This is
the
telephone booth on 53rd and 8th.
Okay.
Right? Zooms in on the booth. The last booth of its type, still in regular operation. They zoom in on the booth. The location of this booth has been burglarized 41 times in the last month.
Jesus.
So it's in the hood, right?
Yeah.
It's scheduled to be torn down and made a kiosk in the next month. Meet the man who's going to be its final occupant of this booth today. And the camera zooms past a bunch of people, and we see a young Colin Farrell.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy you didn't know he was in it. Yeah, this is one of his first, like, Colin Farrell's like,
big
on the scene, you know what I mean? So he's a businessman he's on a cell phone. He's walking down the street and he's talking to his young assistant who's like got a bunch of papers and like, the briefcase and like trying to do a million things and like on the phone, and he's being like a dick.
Right.
He's being a dick on the phone, being a dick to his assistant. You know what I mean? Just classic, like
high-powered businessman.
You already know. All right. He's on the line trying to sell an artist, and you find out he's a publicist.
Okay.
So he's a publicist, and he's given and so he's doing all these like deals, and then he passes a cop, and then he gives the cop courtside seats to a Knicks game or something, and then the cop gives him information on the celebrity they arrested the other night, like some insider information. You know what I mean? Because he's a publicist.
Yeah.
And so then he immediately takes that information and like calls the paper, and we're like, every time the shots are crazy, because every time he would talk to something, like all the shots are constantly on the phone, right?
Okay.
So every time you talk to someone, like because he's always moving. Everything's a tracking shot. But who he's talking to comes up in a box.
Okay.
Right here
And you see their face?
You see where they, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
So that's how every shot kind of is, just so you know. All right.
All right.
So he's now he calls the paper, the New York paper or whatever, and he's New York Times, and he gives the information to a lady and uses it to like get some business.
Spin the story,
he's like and using it for his own gain, like he needs something from her. You know what I'm saying? So he's just like he's playing everybody. Like, he's playing every single person, right? And then he like the assistant is like next to him and the assistant's telling him how he's killing it, and then he starts being kind of nice to him and like giving him game while he's walking and talking.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sees a building and he tries to like run past it really quick with his face down, and then an owner comes out yelling at him like, "Hey, what's going on, man? I be giving you free meals, I give you free drinks, and I get one mention in the New York paper, one mention, that's it, one." And then he's like, "Oh man, hey, that's what like he starts playing him like, "Oh well, that's only because I got this deal. I just made some deal with the New York Times where we're gonna have this banquet. We need food, we need to cater." And I said Mario's the guy. Like he plays him that he was, and the guy's like, "Oh, okay, that sounds great." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's just an asshole kind of.
Right.
And then he tells
information guy too.
Oh yeah, he's really quick and blah blah blah, and just doesn't care. And so he gives the assistant like a million things to do, and then he gives him like a wad of money to buy a new suit, and then he calls himself Third Stu the whole time, like big dog. You know what I mean? And like and he says he's late for a meeting. And
his name is Stuart.
Stewart, yeah, I guess. And he clicks his heels and he like walks off, right? And the assistant's like, and it just runs off doing all the things he has to do now, right? So he bends a corner, and then he walks into the phone booth. Okay? And he gets in the booth, takes off his wedding ring. Puts it on the phone, on top of the payphone, right? Right then, on the glass. Because you know how those glass doors open like that, right? It's a pizza guy. And pizza guy, "Hey, yo, got your pizza." And he's like, "The fuck you talking about, man?" He's like, "Hey, dude, I got your pizza." It's like a fat guy. He's like kind of weird, quirky, kind of nerd, like weirdy kind of looking guy. Right. And he's like, "Dude, it's a phone booth, dog. I didn't order a pizza." And the guy's like, "Yo, man, 53rd and 8th, this phone booth says deliver a pizza right here, right now. This is the pizza." And then Colin Firth's like, "Bro, just go give it to a fucking homeless person, man. Get away from me, And then he's like, "Hey, man, I don't want to do that because they always think I'm trying to poison them or some shit, dog. Can you just take it?" And then he's like, "Hey, man, fuck off." And he opens the door and he gives him like $5. He's like, here's $5 to eat the fucking pizza. It looks like you want it anyway because the guy's kind of fat. Yeah. And the dude's like, fuck, man. He's all sad and he kind of walks away. Right? So he gets on the phone, the payphone. He calls Katie Holmes. She's in this.
Wow.
Bro, we're just getting started. That's all, bro. This movie, it's crazy. This movie's huge. He calls Katie Holmes.
Right.
And he's complaining to her about the pizza guy. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then they're flirting on the phone. They're flirting. Mm-hmm. And then he's telling her how he's gonna get her in the new Mel Gibson movie. She's like, and he's gonna, like, she's freaking out. "Oh my God, blah, blah, blah." Mm-hmm. And then he tells her, "But I need you to come down to the hotel tonight so we can make some final deals on it and stuff like that." And then she goes, "Oh, I really want to, but it's a big day in my acting class where we're doing like, you know what I mean? Like, you seen Barry, right?
Yes.
You know where they have the people come and they're doing a scene.
Yeah.
It's one of those. I forgot what she says it too, but
showcase or whatever.
It's like a showcase for acting, I guess. And it's like, "Oh, we're doing a scene from." She said, "We're doing a scene from Jerry Maguire, and a bunch of people are going to be there, and I can't bail on my acting class." You know what I mean? Like she has to, and then he gets all mad and like tries to like convince her, like, "Oh, this is important for your career." But he's like, "He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Come on, blah blah blah." And then she's like, "Oh, I can't abandon them. That'd be such a shitty thing to do. I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
Right. It's young Katie Holmes, so she is hot in this, by the way.
Also, it's very funny that he took his wedding ring off to talk to someone on the phone. I guess you got to get yourself in that mindset.
Yeah. If you're like, "I'm a piece of shit."
Yeah, I got to separate the two.
But it's
also like, she don't know your wedding ring's on.
Yeah, it says this is for you.
Yeah.
But I guess if the wall is that thick, where you're like, "I gotta separate this."
Yeah. Well, yeah. Teach their own, I guess.
Oh yeah, man. Isn't it crazy that you got a little bit with the infidelity? How funny is that?
Oh, come on. Dude, everyone's always cheating on somebody.
Yeah, all of the movie's titled Phone Booth. That's all he knew. He was like, somebody's cheating.
Yeah.
Nigga, somebody's calling somebody, well, somebody's cheating.
Yeah.
If there's a phone, if there's a letter involved, nigga, if somebody's sending a raven, they cheating. So, oh, fuck, you're an idiot. So he's She says no. She's going to her acting class.
Right.
That's where we were. So going to her acting class. So he hangs up. All right. He's pissed.
All right.
He's like, Katie Holmes, like, I'm doing the acting class. He hangs up, and he's back. He's looking at his ring. He's about to put it back on. Right. And then the phone rings again.
Yeah.
And he picks it up, and the voice is so calm, so smooth, so sexy. Right. Just most serial. You know what I mean? Just monotone, but like with some smooth, some suave to it.
Yeah.
Like very much like Old Boy. When
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just like some serial killer about it, but something a little suave about
yeah,
it.
this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And you hear the voice go, isn't it funny? You hear a phone ring. Could be anybody. You pick it up. But a phone ringing has to be answered now, doesn't it? And then he's quiet. And he's like, what? And he's like, I hope you realize how mean you were to me earlier. It was a perfectly delicious pizza. I think you should have accepted it. And he's like, he's like, oh, okay. He like starts laughing. He's like, oh, it's the same guy from the motherfucking pizza thing. And he starts giving him shit. He's like, bro, I'm fucking hanging up, right? And he goes, no, you're not. You're going to obey me now. Yeah, right? And then he goes, who is this? And he goes, just someone who enjoys watching you. And he looks up, he goes, where are you? He goes, hundreds of windows. Check them out. And he starts looking up, and he's just, New York, just millions and millions of windows, right? And he starts telling him all the things he's doing. Like you're scratching your head. Now you're looking around to your east. Now you're to the west. Now you know what I mean. Like just like he's like, what the? He's like, now you're frozen. You know. And he's like, what? You know.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he says, he tells him his name, and then he says where he lives, right?
Who?
And he's like, who the fuck is this man? You know. And then he says how he knows the Pam woman he's trying to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I know you're trying to fuck that the actress Pam something, you know what I mean? And then blah blah blah. He's like, who are you, man? Just some fucking failed actor or intern that I didn't, wasn't nice to or whatever, man. Fuck you, trying to, use that against me, blah blah blah, And then he's like, what do you want? Just to get paid off? How much money do you want? I'll pay you off, man. I don't give a shit. And then he goes, you know what? I'm hanging up. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm hanging up, but I'll say hi to your wife Kelly first. And he goes, what? And then he hangs up.
Ooh.
Right? And then Colin, he's like, does the *69, which is just why he's trying to call it back.
Yeah.
And it goes, whoop, whoop. That number's been disconnected.
Damn.
And he's like, what the fuck? And then he walks out and he's nervous as shit. Now he's looking up and he's looking everywhere and he's like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And then right here, the phone rings again. And he runs back and he answers it. He goes, what do you want, man? And he goes, just your attention.
Man,
What's up?
what would this movie have been like? What would that plan? What would that guy's plans would have been like? What was that guy's plan if Colin heard the phone ring the first time and just was like, whatever, and left?
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
Gotta base that on. He's gonna answer this phone.
Yeah,
he's not gonna take off sprinting like I definitely would have.
yeah, just like, I'm not answering this.
I'm running. I'm just sprinting.
Yeah, and then
I am nervous as fuck though. Jesus Christ.
Well,
I am nervous as fuck.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying the first time the phone rings, if he just walked away and was like, that's clear enough.
Oh, the first phone ring.
Yeah,
Yeah. That could have fucked his whole plan.
yeah,
up.
the guy's like, I planned all this shit.
God, I planned so much shit.
Yeah. God damn it.
Pizza.
I wasted money on the pizza.
I wasted money on the pizza. So he wasted money on the pizza regardless.
Yeah, fair. Well, he might have bought that like either I'm gonna get this guy a pizza and some guy gets pizza, or I get some pizza. It's not really a waste.
Yeah, the pizza's just kind of like a positive. You never know.
Yeah.
And so he said, "What do you know? Your attention, right?" And he goes, so what are you, an actor?" He goes, "Yes, a failed one." And then he goes, so blah, blah, blah. What do you want, man? Some work, blah, blah, blah. He goes, no. I'm just a walking cliche now. Actor who wanted to be, couldn't make it, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm just doing whatever I have to do to pay rent. And then he offers him a little bit of work, right? And the guy laughs. He's like, you couldn't give me work. You're just a fucking publicist, right? He's like kind of shits on him.
Right.
And then he's trying to get him to call Pam, right? He's like, I want you to call the Pam girl. He's like, no, I'm not calling her, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, fine, I'll do it. And then he calls her. Right?
Damn.
Yeah. And he puts her on speaker and he's like, can you hear her? And he's like, yeah, don't. And then he starts talking to Pam. He goes, hello, Pam. And she's like, hi. He's like, it's a good friend of Stu's. How are you? She's like, I'm fine. How are you? You know Stuart? And he's like, yeah, I do. And she goes, well, who is this? And he goes, she goes, oh, don't worry about that. But just know Stuart's listening. He can hear us right now. She goes, okay, And then he goes, Pam, Stu hasn't been entirely honest with you. He's been lying. And then she goes, you hear him going, no. And then he goes, he clicks over. He goes, she can't hear you, Stuart. And then he clicks back. Yeah, bro, right? And he clicks back. And he's like, she's like, no, what are you talking about? And then she's like, why do you think why would a man with a cell phone always call you from a payphone? And then she goes, he always says because it's quieter. It's so loud on the streets of New York. And he was like, that's stupid, Pam. Are you stupid?
Yes. Yes.
And she's like,
stupid.
And then he goes, no, his wife checks his phone. Obviously, he's married. Her name is Kelly. And she's like, no, he doesn't, blah, blah, blah. He told me he wasn't married. He said he wasn't married. We talked about that. And then blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, what? And then he hangs up on her, right? And then Stu is freaking out. Stu's like, yo, what the fuck, man? Where would you do this? Blah, blah, blah. Right then, a black lady comes on the glass. I need to use the phone, motherfucker. Like, she's clearly like just this crazy, like, prostitute, cracked out lady person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's like, I need to use the phone, motherfucker, hang up. And he's like, I'm hold on, And then the dude starts telling him, like, the dude on the phone starts telling him facts about his wife. You know what I mean?
It's creepy.
Yeah, bro. And then he's saying that he needs to speed dial her right now. And he's like, no, I don't know. He's like, what? No, what do you even want me to say? He's like, tell her you're cheating. And then he starts panicking. And he's like, no, I'm not cheating. I don't cheat at all. I'm just, he's like, I'm going out and I'm shopping. It's like, he starts comparing it to hotels and going to houses and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, shut up, Stuart. You're a cheater. You want to cheat. That's what you want. You know what I mean? You would have cheated on her today, but she didn't come. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
He's like, fuck. Right? And then right then the black girl, she's still yelling and yelling. She wants to get back. She wants to fucking use the phone, right? And she's like going, this is my payphone, motherfucker. This is my payphone. And then he like slams he opens the door. It's like, get the fuck out of here. And slams the door and he kind of slams her hand.
Yeah.
And then she goes, you hurt my dick hand. So she says. And then the dude on the phone starts dying laughing. Like what she says. He goes, oh, that's going to be a problem, I think, there, Stuart, because she runs off.
Right.
Right? So she goes across the street and she tells a bunch of other prostitute girls what just happened.
Right.
Okay? So the guy reveals how he isn't an actor. All right? He's like, I'm not an actor, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I wanted you just to reveal some truth to me. He goes, so are you going to call your wife or do I have to? He goes, no, I'll call her. Right? So he calls his wife. Okay? He calls Kelly. And you would recognize her from, she's the wife in Man on Fire.
Oh.
She's the mom.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
So she's in this. So she calls her. Okay.
She just plays the lady that bad things happen to.
Always.
Yeah.
She's kind of just around it.
Yeah. But like it happens to her. She's not really a part of it.
But it happens to her.
Yeah.
So calls her, right? And then
her husband's always up to some shit.
Yeah, dude.
She always has shitty husbands.
He tells the dude on the phone, he's like, hold the phone close to the phone booth so I can hear.
Right.
He wants to hear the conversation. And then she says, hey, honey, what's going on? Just weird. I got a call from a man earlier who said you were going to be calling me from a phone booth today. That's crazy, right? And then he's like, you know what I mean? Honey, I got something to tell you. And she's like, what? And then right then all the girls come back. All those hooker girls, they come back and they're banging on the glass, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we need to use the payphone. Get the fuck out of our payphone, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, get the fuck out of you fucking hookers. And then they go off even more mad.
Right.
Okay? So Stu's going off. Stu is going off on Kelly. It's saying someone is lying on him and like there's someone spreading lies and blah, blah, blah. And then another hooker comes up. Right? And so he's yelling again with this hooker while the dude on the phone is telling him, tell your wife who you really are. Tell your wife who you really are. Tell her you're a cheater. Tell her you try to fuck other women. Tell her. You're like, you know what I mean? He's like whispering these things like, wow, he's like, honey, there's just someone shut the fuck up, bitch. Like he's trying to like deal with all this. You know what I mean? And then his wife goes, listen, just who are you talking to? And he's like, there's just a bunch of hookers. They're trying to get on the phone, blah, blah, blah. And she says, just look, come to my store and we'll talk about it there. And he's like, okay. And then she hangs up.
Right.
And he's like, oh God. And then he's like, you didn't tell her the truth, Stuart. You didn't tell her the truth, you know? And then he goes, Stu's like, man, I'm gonna hang up. He goes, Stu, if you hang up, I will kill you. He goes, man, what are you gonna do, man? With your fucking binoculars and you're gonna convince my wife, you're cheating? Fuck you, man. He goes, he's like, what do you think I'm looking at you with binoculars? I'm looking at you with a 30 caliber bolt, high action, something sniper rifle, with tactical scopes, blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, motherfucker, well, tell me how's my hair. He goes, well, it'll look interesting with the exit wound of a tangerine coming out the back of it. You know what I mean? And then then you hear that cock.
Yeah.
And then Stu goes, and then bro, it was really, he goes, isn't it scary and how cool, like, isn't it scary how cool that sound is? You know what I mean? He said, you ever notice how killers in movies, their guns never cocked? They always cock the gun and then shoot you. You want to know why? They want you to hear that sound. That's how scary it is. He says this.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, right?
The fuck should have taken that pizza?
So he goes, Colin Farrell goes, well, just so you know, man, if you shoot me, you fucking idiot, cops are going to be everywhere. Then what? Then what are you going to do? And then he proves him wrong immediately by shooting this toy right outside the phone booth. It's like this little robot toy.
Yeah.
And it just explodes. And he goes, and he looks around and everyone just keep walking. No one even notices.
Right.
No one even notices.
Right.
You know what
New
I mean?
York.
Dude.
See something?
And
Say
he's
that.
just like and he's just in that booth. And it's a great shot of like, oh my God, you would feel trapped. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
He just shot a fucking thing in the middle of the city.
And no
It's
one
like
gave a
dinner
shit.
Times Square and no
Yeah.
one even noticed. Dear Lord. So a black guy walks up, right, starts banging on the thing like an African dude. He's like, hey, I'd like to use the phone. Come on, I need to use the phone. You know, and then he pays him $10 to just, hey man, here's $10, just walk off, go use another phone. And the guy's like, thank you.
Yeah.
Walks off, right?
Yeah.
So another prostitute comes up and she's showing her tits on the glass, trying to get him to like pay attention to her. And then the guy on the phone is like fucking with him. He's just fucking with him. He's fucking with him. And he's just telling him like how he's not a good publicist and blah, blah, blah. But then he starts telling him how he's doing better than the other people. And he goes, what other people? And he starts telling them stories of like men who have died recently in New York on the phone. Have you heard of this? And he's like, and he starts telling them all these different stories of all these. There was a guy who's a actor or who was some kind of actor, but he was ended up being a pedophile. You know what I mean? And how he died recently. And then another guy who who's a big like Enron kind of person who wronged a bunch of people in business and how he died recently on the phone.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. I mean, it's crazy that he's saying that up as like, hey, I killed these people.
Yeah.
But also, cheating on your wife.
Yeah.
Being a pedophile. Enron executive. Very big difference between the two.
Huge gap.
1, 2 are highly illegal and highly fucked up. And one is like fucked up, but that's kind of also life.
Yeah, one is like, dude, mind your own business.
Yeah.
Let me deal with cheating on my wife.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
And if your thing is like you're this guy who wants to give it away, fair, I guess that's your thing. But cheating on your wife does not deserve the same punishment as being a pedophile / Enron guy.
Absolutely right. I agree. So far with Hassan, I agree.
So that means he must be doing some shit. Or this is a story of a serial killer slowly losing it and going after more and more. Ted Bundy said like the first couple kills are like super planned, and by like the kills you get, the reason you get caught is you become so lax with it, and you're like the reason you're killing becomes like all muddled and it's not less. Yeah, it's sloppy. It's not as it's one of the two things. Either Colin Farrell's really doing something terrible, or this serial killer's losing it.
Yeah, I agree with that right there, man. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
So he's telling them the story of all the men who died recently, and then he puts that sniper dot right on his right shoulder.
Right.
And then he goes, do you remember anything from those killings you read in the paper, Stu? And he goes, I don't know. And he goes, tell me, Stu, what do you remember? And he goes, everything was left on their bodies. And he goes, why? Why, Stu? And he goes, because you executed them. He goes, now why? And then he's quiet and he goes, but why me? And he goes, if you have to ask, Stuart, you're not ready to know. You know? And then right then the three girls come up yelling with this big pimp now, right? They got their big pimp with them.
Okay.
And the big pimp's like, hey, bro, you got to get off the phone, man. My girl's been complaining all day. You got to get the fuck off the phone. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then the guy's like, oh, come on, man, blah, 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 get away here. He's like, no, you don't understand, bro. These bitches are just like, Leon. I don't want to hear this shit. Just get out the phone, man. I don't want any problems. He's trying to like be cool. He's like, he's a huge guy. He's like, I just don't want no problems. Just get out the phone, dude. And he's like, he's like, bro, I don't want to get out the phone, blah, blah, blah. Can I just pay you? And the guy's like, what? And then he hands him $120. Right? He's like, $120? Damn, okay. Fine, okay. And the girls are like, what? You gonna let him stay in the booth? And then he's like, well, how long you need the boot for? And then Colin goes, indefinitely. He goes, indefinitely, $500. And Colin's like, what? Come on, man. And then he starts arguing with him. And then the girls start calling him a bitch for making the deal, the pimp. And he goes, man, my girls are calling, I can't have them call me a bitch. Just get out the booth, man. It's over. Your time's done. Get out the booth. And the guy's like, he's like, I can't get out the booth. He's like, dude, get the fuck out the booth. And then he starts beating the glass right with his fist. He's like, get the fuck out the booth. He's like, dude, I can't. He's like, all right. And then Leon leaves and he goes to grab a baseball bat. And he comes back with the baseball bat. And then now Stuart, the dude on the phone, he's like, get rid of him, Stuart. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, get rid of him now. And then you hear the gun clock. He's like, you got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, and then the guy beats the fucking thing down with the baseball bat, like with the glass, right? So one of the glass, so now it's open,
Yeah.
and he pulls him out the booth, and he's trying to fight, and he goes, just say the word, Stu, and I can end this. And Stu's like, he's like, say the word, Stu. You hear it on the payphone, he's like, yes. And then you just hear, right? And the guy's like this, right? And then they're like, Leon? All the girls are like, Leon. And he keeps stumbling backwards. And then a little bit of blood comes out of his mouth. And then he turns, and then you see like a bullet right here, right?
Right.
And then everybody's like, he fucking shot him. All the prostitutes start screaming, oh my God. People are yelling, he shot him. Call the cops. They're like, you shot him, motherfucker. You shot him. He's like, with what? With what gun? I got a fucking phone, bitch. I got a phone. He shot him. So everybody's going crazy, right? The hookers are saying it was him. They're all like, oh, the cops are coming, right?
Wow, these hookers are dumb.
Yeah. Oh, they're hookers.
Just because they're hookers doesn't mean they're dumb.
Street hookers are dumb. Going out on the limb, bro. So he goes, why are you doing this?
Mhm.
And and the dude on the phone goes, because you're dismissive, Stuart. You dismissed him, Leon, the guy who died. You dismissed the pizza man. He goes, you dismiss humanity. And then he goes, just tell me, who the fuck are you, man? He goes, no one you know. No one you've ever noticed.
It's like his assistant or some shit.
Right? He goes, I just watch. That's what I do. I watch everyone. And then while he's doing that, the guy's talking, he's sneaking in his pocket, calling 911 from his cell phone in his pocket. Right? And then the guy's telling him a story about how he watches people and he stares at them and he loves finding their secrets. That's his existence.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he goes, and I noticed you one day, Stu. I just noticed you. And then the police operator answers, and then Stuart starts yelling, so you're telling me, you're saying that even though you killed, like he starts saying everything even so the operator can hear him, right? And the operator's like what the fuck's going on? And then right then the killer keeps talking, and then you just hear, and he goes, and then he shoots Colin in the ear. And he goes, deception can't go unrewarded. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, you think I didn't know you just called the cops, Stuart? Huh? You think I don't know that? You know what I mean? And he's like, and then right then the cops, woo, 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 everybody show up, millions of cops, they all surround the booth.
Right.
Okay? The image that you described.
Yeah, good
Okay.
God.
So they surround the booth. Stu is trying to talk his way out of it, right? Like he's trying to talk to just come on, man, please, blah, blah, blah. But the shooter is telling him how he's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Right then we see our lead detective, Forrest Whitaker.
Ooh.
Dude, he thought I was playing.
Ooh.
He thought I was playing
Ooh. Forrest Whitaker eye.
with the famous people in this movie. And we're not done.
Really? There's more?
Yeah, dude, 100 million
How
in the box
how long
office.
is this movie?
hour and 20 minutes.
All these people in that little of a time? Oh, wow. Oh, that means we're almost halfway there already.
Oh, you don't know where we are. You don't know where we are, dude.
Oh. I thought this was going to be a longer movie than that. 120 changes a lot.
Because that's you thought it was going to be a long, drawn out, blah, blah, blah. And now you're like, wait, this shit's wrapping up. So I know that changes
Yeah.
your whole game plan of whether, because I saw that he thought he knew where this was going. And now you're like, wait a minute. This is, because you thought we weren't even barely halfway in. And now you're like,
Well, there's not enough to do what I described earlier. So it turns out my guess was wrong. Huh. Usually that doesn't happen. So.
Forrest Whitaker shows up. One of his eyes is looking the correct direction.
Yeah.
And he says, he asked him to get out the phone booth, obviously. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, he's telling him, you get out of here, bro. Just come back later. This isn't for you, blah, blah, blah. And then everyone is surrounding, watching with cameras. And as this is all happening, the guy is telling him how this all reminds him of Vietnam. Like, right?
Mhm.
And then Stu tries to console him and starts talking about Vietnam and how he knows people that were in it, blah, blah, blah. And then the guy on the phone just starts laughing. He's like, dude, I'd have to be 50 to be in that war. How fucking dumb are you? And he's like, will you just stop messing with me, man? I'm just trying to survive. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like, of course you are, Stu. You just do anything to survive. You'll lie about anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's just trying to prove that he's a liar. And then right then, Forrest Whitaker goes, I'm Captain Raymond. Blah, blah, blah. I'm putting down my weapon and I'm going to walk towards you. Okay? Is that okay? And then he goes, I need you to tell me if you have a weapon. And he's like, no, man, I just got a phone and cigarettes. That's all I have, And then as that's happening, the hooker's like, he did it. He has a gun. He did it. He has a gun. And so right then the cops keep asking him stuff. And then as the Forest Whitaker's, because they're asking him like, who are you on the phone with, blah, blah, blah. And then the guy on the phone goes, man, this cop is getting on my nerves, Stu. I don't think I like him, you know? And then he goes, who are you talking to the phone with, man? Is it your lover? Is it someone? And he goes, it's my psychiatrist. He goes, you're a psychiatrist, huh? Okay. Forrest keep asking questions. And then Stu's just stops answering.
Yeah.
He's just nervous. And then the guy on the phone goes, very good, Stuart. Very good. Don't say anything. And then right then, Forrest tries to console him. He's just trying to like, come on, man, it's going to be okay. You got to calm down. You know what I mean? And then Colin's telling him just to, like, dude, you got to back up. Back up. And then he's like, and the guy on the phone goes, tell him to tell you to like read your rights. That's the guy on the phone goes.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I need you to read me my rights. And then Forrest Whitaker's like, okay. And then he reads him his Miranda rights.
Sorry, what rights?
The Miranda rights? Isn't that what they're called?
Miranda.
I always thought they were called Ramanda. Miranda rights. Because you have to remand them. I guess you have to man them?
Oh, God.
I don't know words, man. I'm sorry, guys.
Are you sure it's the street hookers who are dumb? I don't know. Yeah. Are you sure it's not just you?
It might be me.
So he reads him his remainder rights.
Okay. He reads. I can't even. He reads him his remainder. He reads the remaining of the rights.
The remaining rights. He reads him his remaining
dude.
rights.
Oh fuck! I can't even. He reads
Miranda, like the person.
He reads Miranda, Sex in the City.
Yes.
Okay, when I think
when you think getting arrested, think Sex in the City.
He reads Miranda's rights.
Yeah. It'd be funny if it's like a couple days from now, like what the Samantha rights,
Yeah.
the Mr. Big rights,
Mr. Big rights. Oh god damn it, he'd be good there.
So Miranda rights. He's reading them.
All right, and so Forrest reads them to him, and then he tells Forrest, like, I want my lawyer.
Right.
He's no. The guy goes, tell him you want a lawyer, and he goes, I want my lawyer. I need my lawyer, and he goes, okay, you want a lawyer? He goes, yeah, go get my lawyer. And then Forrest tells him, he's like, can you hand me your gun? He goes, dude, I don't have a gun. All I have is a cell phone. All I have is a phone in my pocket. And he's like, if I pull it out, you're gonna kill me. And then, he goes, Stu asks him, and he goes, Stuart, ask him if his because the cop Forrest mentioned, like when he was consoling him, mentioned that he got divorced, right? So he gets it. He gets how times can be tough, blah blah blah.
Right.
And he goes, ask the cop if his wife got tired of him and started sleeping with him. Got tired of sleeping with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, no, I'm not gonna ask him that. Ask him. And he goes, did your wife get tired of sleeping with you? Is that why she left you? And then the guy on the phone just starts laughing really hard.
Right.
Crazy hard. Right.
That's funny.
And then Forrest doesn't take it personal. He's like, all right, man. And he walks off, right? And then he goes, yo, get it. He goes and whispers, get a tech person here to Morris Chestnut, who's also in this movie, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ricky!
Yeah. Who's just his side cop.
Right.
No, it's not Morris Chestnut. It's a nigga that looks just like Morris Chestnut, but he's in a bunch of black movies too. I don't know his name, but I don't know
Morris Walnut?
Morris Almond face.
Yeah.
So he tells him, he's like, hey, I want a tech person here right now. I need to know who's on that phone with him. You know?
Mm-hmm.
News team starts showing up. And the phone guy the dude on the phone is giving him shit for how he's not a big publicist and how this is the biggest he'll ever get, you know, because his face is everywhere now for the first time. Right. So the cops are trying to trace the call. And Stu is looking around. He notices he's on every television set, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then Stu is telling him, he's like, well, you know, if you kill me, I'm not going to be famous. It's going to be you. You know, you're the serial killer. And then Stu tries to pitch him this sympathetic, like, you know, you don't have to kill me, though. People would invest in you, blah, blah, blah. You'd be the first serial killer to ever have a story. You'd be so famous if you don't. If you let everybody live, you know. And then he goes, man, you must really think I'm crazy. And then Stu just starts panicking and starts panicking more. And then Whitaker starts putting sharpshooters all over the buildings.
Right.
All right. So his cell phone starts ringing. Colin Farrell. And then the guy on the phone goes, are you going to answer that, Stuart? And he goes, I can't. The cops are going to think it's a gun. And then he goes, he tells Stuart how, you know, he's in no position for lying, blah, blah, blah. You need to answer the phone. And he's like, I'm not going to answer the phone. I can't. They're going to think it's a gun. He's like, you need to answer that phone right now, Stuart. He's like, I can't. He's like, that's your wife. You need to answer and stop lying to her. That's why you don't want to answer, because you know it's your wife and you know you don't want to answer and tell the truth. He's like, I can't answer the phone. They're going to kill me. Right then he looks over. He sees his wife running up. And he goes, it's not my wife calling. It's you fucking miserable piece of shit. And then the guy starts laughing again. And he's like, you got me. I was trying to see if I can get the cops to kill you. And then he goes, but you continue to impress me, Stuart. You're pretty quick. And then right then Kelly is talking to the cops, right? And she's letting them know how a man called her earlier today, blah, 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 called the house saying that he was going to get a call from a phone booth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Forrest starts going off on her about her husband and like, who is he talking to, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I don't know. And then he's like, she's like, but he's not usually like this. And she's like, well, you clearly don't know the man he is. He killed a person today, possibly. And she's like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And then another cop walks up and says, hey, we're still working on the wiretap, but this guy's got it all fucked up. You know what I mean? Whoever this guy is.
Yeah.
So they go, Stu, we have your wife here. And then Stu looks and he sees her, goes, she isn't my wife. Look, that isn't my wife. And they're like, what? And she's like, yeah, honey, what are you talking about? He's like, get out of here. You're not my wife. You're just some failed fucking actress who's stalking me. Get her out of here. That's not my wife. And they're like, oh, ma'am, I guess we have to. Are you telling us the truth? And she's like, I don't know what he's talking about. Here's a photo of us. Here's my last name. You know what I mean? Like, blah, blah,
wow.
blah.
Talk about not being able to take a hint. Holy shit. Talk about not getting it.
Yeah, we've been married.
We've been married for X amount of years, and I'm telling the cops.
I'm yelling this at the cops. I'm yelling this
at the cops. That's not what
I'm yelling you to get the fuck out of here. You're a lunatic. I've never met you.
Yeah, which should be
code for
wife code. Hey, get the fuck out of here.
Go home, pack bags.
Yeah.
Go fly to a different city.
Yeah, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
I'm clearly trying to save my wife.
Yeah, it's so obvious.
Come
it's
on.
like not even like mixed messages. It's like, oh, I should get out of here. My husband is
the first one. I'll give you the first one. He was like, "That's not my wife." Blah blah blah. Where you're like, "What, honey? What are you talking? Are you okay?" Because you're still like, "Are you okay?" And then the second one, she's just some failed fucking actress. You need to get her the fuck out of here. I don't know this woman. That's why I'm like, okay.
Yeah. You couldn't get me that part on the thing.
So I stalked him.
Yeah. Well, and then where should I go? It'd be like, like
you tell me where I should.
I should.
You
go,
think I should go
there?
I think you should go to hell or to your grandmother's house in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go to hell. I would appreciate that. You're right. I would appreciate that more than, honey, I don't get it.
Yeah.
He's never like. And then she pulls out the license and shit. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Here's our marriage license and here's his birth certificate. Like, why do you have this on you?
She's yelling, no, honey, no one wants to hurt you. And then he screams, go home, you fucking lunatic. Just get out of here. Okay.
No one wants to hurt you. Bitch, you have no idea what's going on. She's kind of useless.
So he keeps yelling.
Find yourself a wife that if you're being held hostage
in a phone booth,
she can read the signals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about nonverbal communication. This is
marry a stripper. Yeah, like there was some stripper that you didn't know, and I think she would have been like, "Oh, I think this nigga wants me to get out of here."
Yeah, I think strippers get it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's just
me dissing strippers.
Yeah. You're out here just dissing sex workers for no reason. Mr. Remainder rights over here.
All right. So he keeps yelling at her to get out of here, right? And then she tells the cops, that she doesn't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then another cop is telling Forrest how he's fucking up this investigation, and they almost fight. You know what I mean? So he's talking to Stu about how beautiful his wife is, right? And he's like, I bet you never looked at your wife the way I'm looking at Kelly right now. And then you hear that cock, right? He goes, don't you dare. You sick fuck, man. Leave her out of this. He goes, how many times have you fantasized about having sex with Pam in that hotel room? And he goes, man. He's like, what does it matter? He goes, your choices matter. Your choices put people in jeopardy, Stu. That's what matters. He goes, you must learn that. And he starts talking about how the cops are trying to, he's like, oh, I know. He's like, I know that you think the cops are going to find me. They're trying to trace me. And it's sad. And he tells him like how perfectly genius this plan has like been mapped out, that he's been planning it forever. You know what I mean? There's no way they're going to get to him. Right? And the cops are just working on it for no reason. So he keeps fucking with Stu like a psycho. He's just fucking with his head, right? And then he has the gun pointed at his wife and he goes, anything you want? And the dude goes, anything you want, I'll do it, man. I'll do it. And he goes, tell Kelly about Pam. And he goes, that's it? You'll let me go? He goes, I'll let you go. Why not? Kelly! And then she runs back. She's like, what? And then the cops have to grab her and keep her back. He goes, Kelly, I called a woman every day. I was attracted to her. I called her because and then it's quiet. He's like, I called her because, and then the dude on the phone goes, because you wanted to fuck her. He goes, because I wanted to sleep with her. And the guy goes, no, you wanted to fuck her. Because, and he's like, say it. I wanted to fuck her. I'm sorry. And then she's like, whatever you did, I don't care. please just come out the booth, you know? And then he's like, that's all I did. I promise that's all I did. That's all I did. I'm so sorry. That's all I did. And then he's just crying, right? And he's like, I did what you asked. I did what you asked. I've had enough. And the guy goes, I changed my mind. And he goes, you can't do this to me. I did everything you asked. I did everything you asked.
Can't do that to you, bro.
And he goes, fuck you, man. You know? And he goes, I'm so sick of you. This. I'm leaving later. You know? And he hangs up, right? And then the cops are staring at him, and everybody's like, what the fuck's going on? And then the phone starts ringing. And then he holds his hands up, and he goes, I'm giving up. I'm coming out the booth. And then he comes out the booth, right? His hands are in the air. And they go, where is the gun? Where is the gun? He goes, I don't have one. I don't have one, I promise. And then everyone's like, where's the gun? Where's the gun? I don't have one. And he looks over, and he notices there's a red dot on his wife's forehead, right? And he's like, Kelly! And then the cops, as he does that, Forrest Whitaker looks over, and he notices there's a red dot on her forehead. And he's like, and he looks up, right? And then right then, Colin runs back and he answers the phone. He goes, you fucking coward. And he goes, hi, Stu. I let you have your temper tantrum. You want to keep playing my game now? You know? And then Forrest right then whispers into his partner, scan that building over there quickly, quietly. Someone is in there. You know what I mean? Because he saw there was a red. Yeah. So Stu and the guy are talking now. They keep talking, right? And he keeps saying how, he keeps telling Stu how he's doing better than all the others. He's doing way better than the others. This is lasting way longer.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Ooh.
And then Stu says, I can just run right now. I can run and just dance and, you might miss, but fuck it. You know what I mean? And then he tells him how, you don't have to worry about that. The cop, if you run and do that, the cops are going to murder you and shoot you if you run out and just start dancing. He goes, no, they won't. I have no weapon. They can't do that. I have no weapon on me. And then he goes, yeah? Why don't you open the ceiling? And then he looks up and he notices something in like the corner of the phone booth ceiling, right? And then he's like, what is that? He goes, reach for it. He goes, no, I'm not reaching for it. He goes, reach for it. He goes, and then he reaches for it. And then he puts his hand back down. He goes, there's no gun up there. There's no gun up there. And he goes, yes, there is, Stu. He goes, it doesn't matter. The bullets won't even match. He goes, you don't know anything about guns, Stu. I used hollow points. They implode on impact. You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't, the gun's full of hollow points. And then he goes, but I'll tell you this, Stuart. Look at the theater across the way, 4 floors up, pink curtains. And then the curtains move. He goes, now the odds are even. You know where I am. I know where you are. You have a gun. Do you have it in you to take me down, Stuart? And he goes, they'll kill me before I get a shot off. He goes, that's true. And of course I'm not there anyway. And so Pam right then walks up. And then you see through the guy's sniper rifle. He goes, looks like someone watches the news. And then he tells him,
What's going to happen?
What the fuck is about to happen?
Yeah, it's all coming to a head.
So he yells at him. He says, take the gun down or I'm going to kill her. Right? And he starts reaching up and then he feels the Glock, Yeah. And he goes, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. He goes, nothing but your fingerprints on that gun, And he goes, now choose between them, Pam or Kelly. He goes, oh man, please don't make me do this. Please don't make me do this. And he starts fucking with his mind and telling him to pick one or the other. Because he's like, he'll let him live, but one of them has to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He goes, or he kills both.
Who do you pick?
Pick your wife. But he's like, please don't make me do this. Please don't make me do this, right? But I mean, I would be like, bro, I don't want to fucking, like, I'm not God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you are in this moment.
In this moment, you get to be God. Stop trying to be God. You know what I'm saying? And so telling him to pick up the one, like, he's like, come on, pick one. And then Stu bends down and he just starts crying. He's crying. And he's like, get up, Stuart, be a man. And then as he's bending down and crying, he's using his cell phone to call the cops again. We'll call his wife. Right. And he's like, and he's yelling, he's like, Stuart, get up. And then they're like, the other cops are like, is he gonna like reaching for a gun? Is he gonna commit suicide on TV? All the people in the news are panicking, blah, blah, blah. And then his wife answers the phone and then he starts yelling, I'm on my knees, begging you not to kill me. Please don't kill me. And then Kelly listens for a second and then he gives the phone to Forrest Whitaker. And Forrest listens and then he starts yelling everything about like that's been going on, the whole situation again. You know what I mean? And Forrest is listening in. And then he goes, get up, Stuart, get up right now. And then Stuart finally gets up, right? After he yells everything, he gets up and he puts the phone back in his pocket. And then Forrest tells the other cop, yo, this is exactly what I thought. This is a sniper situation. You need to go back to Trace, back to Kelly's house, trace that phone that the guy called from earlier, figure out where he called from. And the guy's like, oh man, why would that's not gonna work? I mean, it didn't work using this stuff. It didn't work using the phone booth, it wouldn't work that. He goes, let's just assume. Forrest Whitaker goes, let's just assume he's human. Let's assume he's a human like me, like you, who's made a mistake once in his life. Can we assume that and just check, please? And the guy's like, fine, all right, we'll check. You know what I mean? Which I thought was like, oh, that's a great way. That's a great cop way to do it. Like,
also, like I said earlier, it's his like he's been killing for a while. He didn't dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
you're right. You did say that earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how it works. That's how I've listened to enough podcasts about serial killers to know.
And you've murdered enough people.
Yeah, I've murdered enough phone booth occupants to know this is exactly how this works.
So they tell Kelly to get back in the car where it's safe.
Right.
And then Forrest tells the cops to move quietly, and he tells everybody, don't look up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that'll obviously give it away if he sees everybody like.
Trying to find out. Yeah.
So Stewart, he goes, Stewart, can I come talk to you for a second? This is Forrest Whitaker. And then the phone guy goes, I don't like this cop, man. He keeps annoying me. He goes, it was a brave of you admitting everything to your wife. He goes, trust is key. Trust between me and you, Stewart. And then he goes, Stewart's like, I don't know. Listen, man, I can't talk. And he goes, I got issues that I can't talk about either, man. It's okay. But I just want you to know it's safe outside the booth. And he's like, no, this is my booth. I'm not coming out. It's safe in here. I'm not coming out this booth, right? And he goes, well, I'll tell you, he goes, Stewart, he goes, okay, Stewart, I just want to say one thing. We put a call out to your lawyer. All right. Oh, I forgot the Kelly that he, earlier in the movie, he tells the Kelly wife lady that he said how they needed our lawyer. He said something about bringing his lawyer, and then she was like, we don't have a lawyer. He goes, what? He goes, yeah, we don't have a lawyer at all. I don't know what he's talking about. And the cop just Forrest goes, huh? Okay. Right? So now he goes, oh, I just want to tell you something. Your wife wanted me to tell you, we haven't found your lawyer yet. Okay? We know he's around, but we haven't found him yet. But we're doing everything in our power to bring your lawyer down. And he's like, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see, Kelly, that's how you take a hint.
Right? That's how you do it.
A hint. And that's not even that obvious.
He clearly.
Yeah.
He's just being like, I'm going to do better than that bitch.
Yeah, right? I'm going to try.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe he should have chosen his wife to get shot just for that. Just like, hey, I tried to warn her.
And so right then the guy on the phone goes, you need to humble yourself in front of these strangers, Stu. And he goes, why do you really care about me? I'm a fucking publicist. I'm not a murderer. I'm not a pedophile. I'm just a shitty guy who wants to fuck actresses. These aren't crimes, man. And he goes, well, tell them. And then he's quiet for a second, and all the cops are staring at him, and Kelly and Pam are staring at him.
Yeah.
And then he leans
Kelly's still there.
Yeah. He leans out the booth, and he goes, I've never done anything for anyone who can't do stuff for me, all right? I string along my assistant because he works for free, and and I promise him advancement in his career, and I'm never planning on doing that ever. And his assistant is like watching, like, the fuck? You know what I mean? And he goes, I lie in person, I lie on the phone, I lie to all my friends, I lie to all the newspapers. I'm literally just a part of a circle of lies. I dress like this because I need it. I need it for myself. My watch is fake, so am I. I value all this shit. I value it. I take my wedding ring off to call Pam. Kelly, that's Pam, okay? And don't blame her. She had no idea I was married. And if she did, she wouldn't have anything to do with me. I'm ashamed of myself.
Jesus.
I work so hard on this image, and that's all I care about. I refer to myself in the third person, proving to myself that I should just be alone. That's all I want. But here I am, flesh and blood. I'm weakness. Kelly, I love you so fucking much, and you deserve better. And then he leans back in the booth, and he's just crying like a baby, right?
Right.
Everyone's just watching like, what the fuck is going on? Everyone's like, because they don't know what's going on, which is great, because that is what everyone's like, what the fuck is this situation? You know what I mean? And he's looking, everybody's looking around, and then he goes, and he gets back on the phone, and he goes, you were never gonna let me go. I knew you were never gonna let me go. I know liars. And then he goes, yeah, well then why the confession? He goes, I didn't do it for you. And he's wiping his tears. And then we go, a guy right then, the Morris Almond Chestnut.
Yeah.
Comes up,
Morris Walnut.
Morris Walnut comes up and he
Yeah.
goes, Captain, we got him a room, 604, old hotel. And he goes, Stu, your lawyers are coming down now. And then right then he goes, just so you know, you're the one who's going to die, motherfucker. And he goes, what? And he goes, you can't stop lying, huh? You can't stop lying. And the guy goes, no, the guy on the phone goes, you just can't stop lying, can you, Stuart? He goes, no, talk about lying. You are going to go down, motherfucker. And he starts talking shit to him. They're coming for you. Those walls are getting thin. He goes, what are you talking about? He goes,
So don't talk shit.
right?
Don't talk shit until it happens.
And he goes, no one's outside, Stuart. What do you mean? He goes, yeah, you only have a couple seconds, motherfucker. They're coming right on your ass. He goes, well, yeah, well, if that's true, I'm taking out Kelly. He goes, no. And then he hears that gun cock, and he goes, I'm taking her out. And then he goes, take me. And he grabs the gun from the top of the thing, and he runs out the booth. He goes, take me. And then you hear, right? And so he goes flying back, right? People are screaming, ah! Kelly's screaming. She goes running up for him. It's in slow motion. Everybody's yelling. The cops bust into the place, right? It's crazy, weird serial kind of killer shit all over the walls, right? Like everything's in plastic tape. There's fucking shit all over the walls.
Don't talk shit until
know
it
what I mean?
happens. What are you doing?
They come in and then they grab the phone and they go, Captain, and the captain's on the Fay phone and he's like, did you get him? He's like, no, sir, we're too late. He slit his own throat. And they pan down, there's a body on the floor.
Right.
You know, and they go, Kelly, you know, the dude, Colin Farrell's coming to on the ground. He goes, Kelly, where's Kelly? And then she goes, she's okay. She comes up and she hugs him, right? And she goes, are you okay? And then the cop goes, they hit you. And then they pull up his shirt and there's a rubber bullet. He's like, we shot you. We figured it'd be better if us to shoot you. I told my men to shoot you if you came out. Figured better us than him. He goes, oh, thanks, man. And he thanks him, right? So they rolling out the bad guy on the gurney. And then they come over and they go, you want us to show you the body? And then Colin's like, yeah, I want to see it. And then they pull down the thing. And he goes, do you recognize him? He looks at him. He goes, yeah. He was just trying to deliver me a pizza earlier today. I told him to go fuck off. And the camera pans and looks at his throat is sliced.
Yeah.
Right? And he's just looking at his dead body. And so they're giving, now he's in the ambulance, right? Colin Farrell. And he's strapped in. And the doctor's talking to the EMT guy, and they're giving him a dose of something. And like, it's gonna, just help you doze off, go right to sleep. It's been a crazy day. And so they're doing all this. He's kind of fading out, and then the EMT guy walks out. And then as that happens, another guy starts polishing his shoes. You just see a hand polishing his shoes, and he's kind of like, he's just looking at it like, what the fuck? And then he goes, nice shoes. And he's looking at the face, and he's trying to look at it. And he's like, what are these, Italian? What the fuck? And he kind of sees just a figure leaning on the EMT truck, right? He goes, I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, and I feel really bad about that pizza guy too. But I'm glad you and Kelly are reunited. I am, Stuart. And I hope your newfound honesty lasts. Because if it doesn't, you'll be hearing from me. And he puts his glasses back on, and it's Kiefer Sutherland. He was the voice the whole time.
Out of nowhere?
He was the voice the whole time. Right? And then he walks away smooth. And Colin's like, and then he passes out. And then he walks away smooth holding a sniper rifle case in his hand.
Yeah.
Right? Just past the crime scene. And then he stops and he looks at the phone booth. And then you hear the voiceover. Isn't it funny? You hear a phone ring. Could be anybody. But a phone ringing has to be answered. Now doesn't it? And then he just looks at the booth, and then he just keeps walking, and then the phone rings, and then the camera follows the phone, into the outer space, into the satellites. It's black. Hello? Phone booth.
I liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's quick. I like how.
Yeah, Sam liked it too. She was like, I did not know this what this movie was.
Yeah, I'm glad the real killer is not anyone you recognize from
Right?
early in the movie. It's just some fucking guy, some serial killer guy.
Sorry, a legit serial killer.
Legit serial killer. Absolutely.
And it's Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
I didn't know that till today. Because I've always seen the movie many times, but I didn't realize today that they're like,
There's that-
I'm like, oh, nigga, that's Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, yeah, because you watched it when he wasn't Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's crazy now. Going, nigga, that's Kiefer Sutherland. That's crazy. And it's his voice the whole movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Star-studded cast.
What a crazy movie.
Yeah, dude. Crazy. Phone Booth is a crazy, crazy movie, dude. Killed the box office. $13 million budget.
Yeah, there's only like 2 scenes. There's only 2 settings. Really? All the phone. But most of that budget probably went to get the people.
Yeah, most of that budget was just for Forrest Whitaker and everybody.
Yeah, I mean, were they all A-list celebrities at that time, or were they all on their Forrest was he?
Yeah,
And
I knew who
2002?
Forrest was. I knew who Forrest Whitaker was 2002 for sure. Colin Farrell, I knew who that was 2002. And
This is pre couch jumping Katie Holmes.
yeah, so
This is
Katie Holmes is
Katie
just young Katie Holmes. The Man on Fire lady, I just recognize.
This is the Man on Fire lady who
she-
can't take a hint.
Yeah, and then the
Morris Walnut.
assistant cop I recognize. I definitely recognize him.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, that's why the budget was so low. They couldn't get Chestnut. They had to get Walnut.
Andy Walnut.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this movie is fucking
Weird.
weird, insane, tight though.
Yeah.
Hour 20. They
Yeah.
weren't fucking around.
Yeah. At least.
That's why, you know why? I was like, oh, this is why it was a big, because people could come see it again. It was a big box office hit because it's quick. It's so quick. It's action packed.
Yeah.
It's got a great twist. It's a movie that I get in 2002 that people were like, because I saw it in theaters as well, but I get that for like people of that age would be like,
Adults.
Adults, you'd want to get other people to see. Like, oh, bro, you got to see Phone Booth. It's crazy.
Quick. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's Phone Booth. It's quick. It's crazy. Go see it.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an insane concept for a movie.
Insane concept. And it's not what you think it's going to be. It's
No.
not exactly what you think it's going to be.
No. Although it was about cheating.
So it wasn't about
Surprisingly.
cheating, which is crazy funny.
Surprisingly. Yeah.
How funny is that? You got nailed that.
Yeah. And I sort of nailed it. The detectives figured it out, kind of, almost.
Almost.
They got the wrong guy.
They got the wrong guy.
Yeah.
But that's what made it a good movie, I thought. Is that the serial killer kind of gets away.
Yeah. And it's the serial killer, if he's still out there right now, he's got to come up with a new method of killing people.
Yeah.
Phone booth ain't going to work.
Well, no, he was killing the other guys on their cell phones.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He used the phone booth on him because he used that phone booth to cheat on his wife.
Cheat on his wife.
But like you said, his crime, definitely not that bad.
It's not a crime. His wasn't a crime. He said it
Yeah.
himself. It wasn't
Well,
a
even
crime.
say, then even when he did his final plea of like how bad of a person he is, it's like, I mean, yeah, dude, it's a bad person. Doesn't deserve this.
Yeah, right? Especially because, like, the first couple people you took out were a pedophile and, like, a Enron guy. Which is, like, that gives you a Robin Hood aspect to you, but that keeper...
This one makes you a serial killer.
It just makes you a straight
And you
serial
just
killer.
killed a pizza guy.
You killed a pizza guy for no reason. He's losing it. He's gonna get caught soon. When's Phone Booth 2 coming out?
Phone Booth 2, Tanning Salon.
Oh my god, bro! There's gonna be. I can't believe they haven't remade this movie with some modern version.
They will.
yet.
You know it's coming.
Yeah, and
You know it's coming.
Yeah, it's gonna. And instead of Colin Farrell, it's gonna be like Taraji P Henson or whatever. So it's gonna,
Oh,
it's gonna be a black woman. Yeah,
dude, I'm going to see that.
yeah.
I'm going to see that all day. Oh my god,
Called
Phone Booth 2.
Payphone or
Yeah,
whatever.
payphone with or fucking smartphone. It'll be called like iPhone or some
iPhone,
shit.
and it'd just be Taraji.
Taraji P.
It
Henson.
would just be a black woman.
Yeah, I would definitely go see it.
Yeah,
Phone Booth.
that's fun.
Go watch it.
everybody. Yeah.
Hassan will.
Yes, I have to.